Yeah, Sisters vs. Sisters recently had a baby with Mega Dimension, but since the baby has Sisters vs. Sisters features and characteristics, we ended up getting the same kind of gameplay. What's going on, guys? Bankai Essential here, and today I'm bringing you my complete review of Neptunia Game Maker. That's right, you guys, my platinum review of Game Maker. Mind you, that Game Maker has not been released in the West yet, but it is confirmed, though, as for me, I'll be reviewing the Japanese version. Let's start with the story plot. In an era of war between the groups of game makers, three goddesses of game makers got their ass beat in the race to win the market share of game sales and perished. They were then known as failures, but then adult Neptune, a girl who has traveled through many dimensions, appears out of nowhere. She is then asked a favor by those three goddesses to become the president of their company and hopefully resurrect their dying game maker. Now for the main cast of characters. You're all familiar with adult Neptune if you played Mega Dimension, but for those who haven't, she is Neptune from a parallel world who doesn't stay in one place. She travels to many dimensions. She is also the main protag of Game Maker. Now for our three new characters, our failed goddesses, starting with Fifi. She is the producer who often tends to have a big ego and calls herself the smartest in the world. She is cocky and sometimes reckless, but she is very confident in what she does. Another thing about her is she holds the grand objective of unifying the world through games. Radio is a crazy scientist who spouts out random comments and still smiles through all that. And any new experiences she comes up with, she deems a new experience, which is her catchphrase that you will hear throughout the whole game. She is in charge of programming and graphics. Jaga is a common collected girl and is good at mathematics, but in reality, she's ass. She is also in charge of production and public relations and game development. The four of them together are Game Maker Victory. Oh, and I forgot to mention that the CPU goddesses and candidates are in the game as well, obviously. Plus villains like Alforia return, and how could we forget our little Cory? And we got some new villains too, whose names I didn't bother to remember and go through the returns, but they're not playable. Come on, Compo Heart and Idea Factory, put them playable, bro. Stop fucking around with us, bro. And we also have Efsha. Now, the purpose of Game Maker is to manage your own game company, but to do that, you'll need certain requirements like keys in order to expand and level up and max out your company to make it bigger. But if you don't have those keys, don't be sad. There's other ways to get them. You can do some challenges, and here comes the best part. You can finally ride Neptune's bike. How awesome is that? You can compete in a set of bike challenges to earn key rewards, but make sure these keys are the right requirements for expanding your company, and if not, there's always the other option of sending out people to scout dungeons on the map in order to bring back random items. So who knows, maybe you'll get the right requirements to level up your company. Now for the gameplay and dungeons. The gameplay is literally Sisters vs. Sisters, except the only difference is you can bring 4 players on the field instead of 3. Just load up the blue flames and you can transform. Do team chained attacks and max out the EXE gauge to perform teamed attacks for extra damage and prepare for the EXE drive. It's good to see adult Neptune with her own transformation even though she isn't a CPU. There's a wide variety of dungeons to explore throughout the world map, plus many new puzzles. Yes, many difficult puzzles. If you ever want to move faster throughout the dungeons, there's also riding Neptune's bike to speed up the process. If you're ever having a hard time throughout the game and you want better ways to grind, I recommend the Neptune Tower. It has 3 parts of the map: regular Neptune Tower, polar Neptune Tower, and true Neptune Tower. Will start you on levels like 30, for example, and make your way up to 99 towers, and if you quit the dungeons, the EXP you gain throughout the tower will carry over to you even after you leave. All in all, it's literally Sisters vs. Sisters newborn sister, but a bit improved. But the game is still the same in my opinion, and I was honestly hoping for a Neptunia game with new gameplay. Heck, I wouldn't mind the old gameplay style, that being Rebirth. Hopefully the next Neptunia game will be a newer and much better experience. But what do you guys think of Neptunia Game Maker? Was this game worth waiting for, or was it a complete disappointment? I leave that for you guys to decide.